Hey there. This video is going to be a little bit different. If you are interested in what journey I went through to find my spirituality, then it is for you. It's also not going to be scripted. There's not going to be any bullet points. It's just from the heart. And keep in mind that English is my second language, so you can guess which one is my first language. So if I make mistakes, that's why. Because unscripted, you know. But I feel like I want to give you the chance to get to know me, to get to know about my motivation, why I'm doing what I do, why I started it. And yeah. My name is Dominic. I'm 39 years old. I don't look it, I know. But yeah. And as with many of you, spirituality came at a price. A very, for me at least, difficult journey in life. And I guess we'll just start at the beginning and work our way through to present day when I started You Are Guided. I think not even a year ago. So, and I'm 39, like I said. It's been a hot second. But yeah, and this is not a woe me, oh poor you video. This is just so you understand me better. And so that you can get to know me if you're interested. Ever since I was a kid, I always struggled with my weight. I got bullied because of it, as many people out there were. So I'm not saying, oh, I'm so special, poor me. But it affected me. It affects me to this day. I still struggle with like yo-yoing and up and down weight and stuff like that. And I remember one sentence distinctly from like, I'm not sure what you call that in English, but swimming class, like at a pool, indoor pool. In front of the whole class, one guy from my class who always kind of pretended to be a friend and then had like a really nasty streak every now and then. He said, are you made completely out of fat or what? Disgusting. Oh, he's pulling in his belly. I can see it or something, some bullshit like that. And then there were other things that we don't really need to go into, but that definitely shaped my personality, being insecure, being worried about what others think about me. And I noticed in recent years, I even sucked in my belly so much the whole time, my entire life. Probably about 37, but about 30 years probably. Or let's say 29 years of my life. I sucked in my belly the entire time so that my breath would always come into my chest and never in my belly. Just as a precursor to what happens later. Because of that, probably as well, partially. I did struggle with that. I fell in love a couple of times. It got rejected a lot because obviously when you're the kid that's getting bullied, no one wants to be with you. Even a friend of mine said, oh, she's just saying nice things because she knows you don't have anyone and stuff like that. It was tough as a kid. Especially if you think everything is your fault. Also, there were some traumatic things in my family that happened when I was young. I only found about that later. But because of that, I developed this tic. And I made these random squeaky noises sometimes without even realizing it. It drove my teachers insane, my parents, and people I was with at the time that were around me. And yeah, I didn't know how to stop it. I don't have a problem with that anymore, but it was probably like a trauma reaction when I was a kid, when I was younger. And so that was just tough. And there was always someone I looked up to, though. There was my older brother. He was always there. He took me to my first festivals, like a local rock and roll festival, and took me to clubs for the first time. Also rock and roll clubs, metal, whatever you want to say, this kind of music. Before that, I was really just listening to what my parents were listening to and what was popular in school, like Eminem and stuff like that at the time. But he got me into the taste of music that I would have for a long time to come. And yeah, I looked up to him. He taught me a lot. He helped me with my math homework because I really sucked at math. And yeah, he asked me that one time at the club. He was like, "So I kind of got you into this type of music, didn't I?" And I remember saying to him, "Yeah, and I'm really happy that you did. I'm really thankful." And he was so proud in that moment. It's one of my favorite memories that I have with him. Sorry. As you can imagine, because of my reaction, he's no longer with us, unfortunately. Hasn't been since 2009. Because my older brother, unbeknownst to me for a long time, struggled with depression. Because of the traumatic things that happened in my early life, which I didn't really know anything about. So my older brother took his own life, unfortunately, in 2009. Because he wrote in a letter to my father that he is more like his real father than he thought. His real dad, his biological father, because of something that happened with him and my mom didn't want to be with him anymore, and he couldn't, because of the golden cage that he built around her, basically controlled her every move, came home from work early to check up on her and all that kind of stuff. Just made her really unhappy, and well, he couldn't take that anymore because he was apparently mentally unstable as well. And so he decided not to only take his own life with, like, by the use of car accident, basically, but also my older brother at the time was very young, obviously. And he decided to also kill him at the same time. Not many people know this. I don't know why I'm putting this in this video, but I wanted to be raw and honest, so I'm gonna be. And that devastated my mom, obviously. It didn't, like, somehow my older brother got out of there alive. I don't know the details, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, I don't know. But that not only devastated my mom, but my dad, my real dad, my brother is my half brother, but I've never seen him as that. I've always seen him as my brother. Devastated all of us. Me on a level probably just taking in the energy from my mom that I didn't understand what was going on. Still reacting to it. And my older brother also gained a lot of weight because of it, because of the psychological trauma. He used food as a mechanism, and as I would later, and my younger brother does these days as well. Definitely affected all of us, unfortunately, for a long time. And yeah, in 2009, when my brother found out that his wife at the time cheated on him and, well, left him with a lot of debt for the house they bought together, he decided to take his own life. And at the time, it didn't affect me as much as it probably should have. At least not on the surface level. It definitely traumatized me for sure. Most likely. Definitely. But I didn't show it. I was able to talk about it at university later on, and because at the time I just started out university, I believe. I talked about it to people, and I was sad and I was depressed a little bit, I guess, but it should have been broken and devastated because the person that I look up to most wasn't there anymore suddenly. Would never be able to talk to me anymore about anything. Wouldn't see what I was gonna do on YouTube with my main channel. This is just a new one that I have. How YouTube became a living of mine. How I built my own business with it, and yeah, all these things he should never see, or he would never see. He would never know about it. Because 2009 is actually when I started my other main channel on YouTube. I've always done YouTube since 2006, basically, with other content, but then I would go in a certain direction with my content, and yeah. Then later in 2013, after I just got out of a relationship with a girl from Australia, also been with her like almost 2 years. It was a very difficult long distance thing, like spent a year in Australia, work and travel. And she lived with me here in my country for a while. But I got into a relationship with a girl from London, and I fell head over heels. I don't know why. I've never felt that way ever before or since. With no other relationship that I had, I was madly in love. Psychically and physically, it was intoxicating. It was on a chemical level and on a spiritual level. I felt like I finally found the person that I should be with. Later, I found out that was probably one-sided, but yeah, it was all like a fever dream for me, because we were only together for like 8 months when she suddenly broke up with me for reasons that I should probably not go into it. She was struggling a lot with mental health as well, self-harm. Like, I'm not gonna name names, so it doesn't matter if I tell you, I guess. She was having a very tough time as well, and she was quite young at the time as well, 19 when we met, and then when we broke up she was barely 20, so very young. I was pretty young as well at the time, so was just having a very difficult time, I think, figuring herself out and dealing with that mental illness that she had. And I didn't know about much of it while we were together, but it definitely broke me when she broke up with me. Also because of what followed shortly after. I'm not sure if she had ever tried this before, but she tried to take her own life twice when we broke up. And that, I think that got the trauma that was under the surface from my older brother taking his own life back to the very surface level. And all the emotions that I should have felt back then came rushing in addition to the ones I was feeling because of the breakup and because of the fear of losing her. I mean, I had lost her already, but really, really losing her and not ever being able to talk to her again. Not trying, I wouldn't have been able to reconcile or anything. I mean, we didn't really. Unfortunately, I say this unfortunately because I don't think it was anyone's fault. You can't do anything if you have like a severe mental illness, not much at least. You can work on it, but many of the people out there have to live with it for the rest of their lives. And so I can't really blame anyone. Sure, did I hope that she would apologize maybe? I guess I did hope for an apology many years. I don't know why, to be honest, because like I said, it's no one's fault really. But of some of the things that happened, I guess I don't really want to go into, but I guess I hope for an apology or at least for contact again to talk things through. Maybe many years later with like a clearer head and with having grown and maybe having gained a little bit of wisdom on both sides, because I was very naive and very scared and inexperienced at the time as well. And yeah, that got me started on a very bad downward spiral. In 2015, my depression was probably at its worst. I had very dark thoughts, thought about killing myself, thought about ending it because I was feeling intense pain and misery the whole time. Sadness, anger was very hard to bear for a long time. And my job, YouTube, wasn't going well because of it, as well because I was being very robotic. I couldn't focus. I just functioned for a long time. I didn't consider therapy. I mean, I did think about it, but I thought I am strong enough, I can do it myself. But it wasn't until like late pandemic, when it was almost over, that I did go to therapy. So for about 6 years, maybe 7, I decided just to try it myself. But when I turned 30, again, I'm 39 now, my first severe panic attack happened on the highway. Actually, I had to pull over because I thought I was having a panic attack. I visited multiple doctors. They just said, no, it's not a heart attack. It's fine. They didn't even send me to a cardiologist. I was so worried. But they did like in, what is it called in ECG, EKG? I don't know. You know what I mean. Checked out my heart and everything was fine. And then obviously I looked up panic attacks, what they are and stuff like that. And it was most likely that. It was still very hard to live with that. I would not wish that on my worst enemy. Like, even when I was just a passenger in a car, I would sometimes have to say, can we please pull over? Because the pressure in my chest and the sinking feeling and the heart palpitations just were getting so bad that I would have to like let them pull over and then just rest. And in other situations, at the cinema, for example, I remember watching the new Top Gun movie and was having the worst panic attack ever because it was a very adrenaline-filled movie, obviously. And yeah, it was all these kind of things. And even just sitting around with friends, sometimes I would have panic attacks in the middle of a conversation for no reason. When I was thinking about having a panic attack, that would always mostly trigger a panic attack. It was bad. Was barely functioning at the time. And like I said, late pandemic, when I started therapy, I was just beginning to figure out that there were many things from my childhood, from my like being bullied, that all played into this, being around negative people, around people that weren't good for me, about supposed role models that taught me always to see the negative thing first, always to be scared of possible consequences. And obviously the trauma that was induced by what happened in my early childhood, and then with my older brother and my ex-girlfriend, everything that happened in between. And I did struggle during the therapy years for a long time still as well. I got into a relationship that shouldn't have happened in retrospect. I was still in a very bad place, but she was very, I don't know, insistent that we would have the relationship. I mean, it was not her fault. I agreed, but I should have said no. I just didn't know at the time, not really. But I wasn't able to be a proper boyfriend. I was in so much, I wouldn't say pain, but I was struggling so hard, still so heavily, with my own problems that I couldn't really focus on her or our dog that we now had. after a year of being together was also probably the wrong decision. I'm glad he's here now. We broke up by now, but it was, I should have healed first before getting into a relationship. She suffered because of it. I suffered because I couldn't be a proper boyfriend, and I suffered later because she got so emotionally distant and cold because I wasn't there for her properly. I wasn't able in the beginning, that she distanced herself later. And then when I healed more and more, it hurt me a lot because she was so distant. It was just bad timing, bad luck. I don't blame anyone. It just was what it was. And well, now my therapy is almost done. I have one more session left. I don't have panic attacks anymore. I'm not suffering from depression anymore. I'm kind of in this finding myself phase. I have been for a long time, I want to say. And I feel like I'm finding, I have found what I want to be, what I want to do, who I want to be. Finally. That's why I started this channel, why I started another channel about like UAP mysteries, UFOs and stuff like that, because it always has interested me. That's why I have a main channel. But only now am I realizing that I want to help people that are also struggling, while still learning myself. Like all the videos I make on this channel, I don't know them by heart or the information by heart. I look them up, I research information, and I put together videos that I think are helping myself when I learned about these, and are gonna help people out there who are also struggling themselves. And I just wanna do my part, put my positive energy, my knowledge out there so that it may help people who are in the same situations that I have been in the past. I don't want you to go through all of that without help, like I did for a long time. Of my own choosing, by the way. I mean, I could have started therapy much earlier, or I could have, I don't know, done something. But I decided to tough it out. Wasn't a wise decision, obviously. But that's why I want to help you now. That's why You Are Guided exists. And that's why it's gonna exist. So, if you are in a tough spot, like I was, let me help you. Stay here, subscribe, follow, and stay for the healing journey. Hopefully, at least. Let me know in the comments, what are you struggling with? How can I help you better? Not every video is going to be perfect for everyone, obviously, because I'm going to cover all different kinds of topics. But I'm going to try to help as many people as I can. That's my mission. And that's hopefully what you are here for as well. And until then, remember, you are not crazy. You are guided. Bye.